Okay, everybody, this is Joseph P. Farrell. It is Friday, November 16th, 2012. This is News and Views from the Nefarium Part 2. We are talking about General Petraeus and about John Rappaport's take on him. And I reviewed a little bit of his article and pointing out that he has already pointed out that what's really sending alarm bells through the intelligence community is the scope of the Petraeus affair and the fact that Paula Broadwell had so much classified material on her computer. Now, let me continue reading where I left off in Mr. Rappaport's article because, as I indicated in part one, Rappaport has put his finger on an aspect of this that I think is the deep aspect of it, and I believe that this heralds a connection to all the financial crisis going on. Here's what Rappaport says where we left off in part one. Quote, neither side, meaning the liberals and conservatives, gives a thought to how the intelligence establishment views this scandal as loud alarm bells keep ringing at Langley. Let's see. Not a CIA agent, but the director of the CIA has a secret affair with a woman who is not his wife. This woman has a significant amount of classified information on her unsecured computer at home. She herself is compromised and vulnerable because she is having an affair with him and she is married. And no one knows who she might be covertly working for. Before the CIA director publicly confesses the affair and resigns, he has access to millions and millions of pieces of highly secret CIA data, some of which even the president doesn't get to see. No one, however, is particularly worried that the general may have been blackmailed. What would blackmailers seek to get from Petraeus? In addition to what he knows from his tenure at the CIA, he served at the top of the heap in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was in Iraq where billions of dollars in U.S. aid went missing. Who stole the money? Those names. An extremely useful nugget if Petraeus could provide it. Then, in Afghanistan, details on the restructured heroin trade operation would be another gem, as would reports on poppy yields and the names of drug warlords who were replacing the old mainstays. Dope Incorporated is a trillion-dollar business, and what Petraeus could pass along would rate as prime industrial espionage. He would know a great deal about U.S. government in drug trafficking. Then you have oil deals vis-a-vis the hoped-for Afghan pipeline. Can't tell the shifting players without a scorecard. You've got newly minted Russian oligarchs, Chinese operatives, competing oil companies, bank financiers, drug kings looking for a place to wash and multiply their money. Everybody and his brother wants a slice of that action. But no one, listen carefully now, no one is particularly worried that Petraeus may have passed information on to blackmailers. Then we have this. The general had an enormous amount of information about the U.S. Armed Forces' strengths and weaknesses, about classified military bases, about deployment numbers, special ops missions, weapons capabilities, and limitations in the field under actual battle conditions. No one, he says again, is particularly worried that Petraeus may have passed information on to blackmailers. Now, I think Rappaport's put his finger on two things. Maybe he doesn't even know it, but I doubt that. He's a very smart man. Number one, there's a financial aspect to this, and it's very deep. And I'll bet, it's my gut feeling, that when Rappaport mentions drugs and oil, that the thread of this goes to that what I believe is a hidden secret structure of finance in the world. The CIA is up to its earlobes in that activity. We know about its involvement in BCCI, Nugon hand banking scandals, all of these things. So it stands to reason that there is a deeper relationship between all of these financial scandals. And I'll bet that we're going to see eventually some aspect of this come out as a result of the Petraeus affair. And I think we need to bear in mind that the other aspects of this, Israel or jihadist involvement, these may be legitimate as well. But the deep story, in my opinion, is precisely, number one, as Rappaport indicates, Petraeus' knowledge. Number two, a financial aspect to this, probably much broader than even Rappaport is outlining here. I believe that we're looking directly at something deeply related to that huge off-the-books system of hidden finance that has been in existence since World War II. This is what I believe the scandal is ultimately about. And number three, I think Rappaport is entirely correct. We are looking at some sort of possible blackmail operation, and therefore, and this should send alarm bells to all of you who've been listening to me talk about ops within ops within ops and fractured factional infighting. If that's the case, we're looking at a deeply penetrated, deeply compromised intelligence security service for the Western oligarchs. That should give everybody some sleepless nights involved in those agencies and with those oligarchs. Anyway, that's it for today's news and views from the Nefarium. I'm Joseph P. Farrell. God bless everybody. I hope you all have a good and happy Thanksgiving. And to our friends overseas in Europe and elsewhere, keep struggling, my friends. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. We'll see you on the flip side.